How is it going, everybody? You're watching That About Tech, and today I'm going to show you all iOS 18 hidden features. Let's get started. If you open up your calendar, you'll see that it's much more colorful and we've got multiple views. If you actually pinch, as you can see right here, it's going to go ahead and show you multiple different options. As you can see right here, a more condensed and collapsed view. And if you go ahead all the way in, you see this better option with all your events and also your reminders. Because I don't know if you know this, but in iOS 18, your events, your calendar events and your reminders are completely unified and in one single place. And as you can see right here at the top, if you tap on it, you have those views. So you have compact, you have stacked, and of course you have details. And as you can see, you can cycle through them by just pinching in and out. And it gets better than that, because if you tap on a day, as you can see, you've got this list view now. But if you tap here, you also got multi-day, as you can see. So you can see 2 days at once, like today and tomorrow, or maybe today and yesterday, and so on. You can go ahead and cycle. And of course, you have single day, which is your typical view. So it's amazing now the amount of flexibility and options and views you've got on your calendars. And of course, your reminders are still here if you want to see them individually. Now let's open up our settings and then go to battery, which is much more convenient right here at the top. And then if you have an iPhone 15 series, if you tap on charging, we have multiple new options. First, on our charge limit, and then you can choose exactly how you want to limit your battery. So not only 100% and 80%, but now on small increments. So 195, 90, 85, and 80. So it's up to you. Of course, keeping it at 80%, as you can see right here, is the best for your battery. And as you can see, as soon as you go ahead and choose 80%, optimized battery charging is automatically disabled, because optimized battery charging will charge it to 100%, but when you have an 80% limit, it won't anymore, so it doesn't even give you the option anymore. If you go ahead and re-enable 100%, you can allow this charge limit just for tomorrow or set to 100% for good. This is a great option if you want to leave it at 80%, but for some reason, this next charging cycle, you will need the 100%, so you can go ahead here and go to 100% just for tomorrow, and then this next cycle it'll go ahead and charge to 100, and then it'll go back to 80. And this is a great option. Now check this out. I'm gonna charge my iPhone right here, as you can see, and then it's charging normally. But if I come back and wait a few seconds, as you can see, it's giving me the information slow charger. And that's because I'm in fact using a very slow charger. Let me show you. I'm currently using this one, which is a 5-watt charger, a very old 5-watt charger. So then the iPhone is letting me know that this is a slow charger, and in fact, it will charge my iPhone slower than it actually should if I was using a fast charger. And if I keep charging it with a slow charger, it's gonna show me right here on this graph the portion of charging that was actually slow. So this is a very easy, intuitive, simple way to check if the charger you're using is slow, and then you should get a faster one. If we go to settings and then on search, we look for vehicle, as you can see right here. So we have the option show vehicle motion cues. This is turned off by default, but you can enable this, and what this will do is amazing. So when you are driving or as a passenger in a car, you will see some dots right here. Let me show you how they look like. I actually made a video on Instagram on this. So as you can see, as the car turns right, left, accelerates, you see those black dots, which will indicate on your iPhone screen the direction the car, so the direction you are going. So left, right, as you can see right here, backwards and forwards. And this will actually help you with car sickness. So if you feel ill, like you're gonna throw up when somebody's driving and you are a passenger in a car, this will help you out so much. I've tried to enable this and I actually got into my car and drove it for like 15 minutes, but it didn't show up. And this feature is automatic, so it has to show up automatically. It didn't, but we are on beta 1, so that's probably why. If we go to our settings and we scroll down until we get to action button, and this feature is exclusive to the iPhone 15 Pro series, if we go ahead and slide quite a bit, you will see controls. So if you tap on choose a control, as you can see right here, you'll be able to choose any control, and those are the exact same controls as you see here in your new control center, as you can see. So those are the exact same controls. So you can choose any of those controls, as you can see, to map as your action button. So for example, you can go ahead here and toggle dark mode. So then as you go ahead and press on your action button, you will enable and disable dark mode just by pressing and holding on your action button. This is so cool. If you pull down your control center, you see here the flashlight, and you have probably already seen the new flashlight animation. So you can go ahead, tap on it, and then slide backwards and forwards to increase or decrease the brightness, so the power of your flashlight, right? But what you may have not seen is you can actually do it sideways as well. So take a look at this. If we go sideways like this, there we go. So we can make the beam of light wider or narrower. And I really didn't know that the iPhone camera, the flash here, was able to do this, but it will in fact make the light wider or narrower, and also of course brighter or dimmer. So this is incredible, the quality of hardware that Apple implements on their devices. Another awesome hidden feature is the parallax effect. It's actually back. We've all loved the parallax effect. If you don't know what I'm talking about, is the fact that when you move your iPhone like that, the icons, they actually move it as well. So you feel like the icons are popping, the icons are in front of the wallpaper. So as you move the iPhone, the icons move too. It's gonna be very hard to show you on camera, but you can definitely tell that they move. So then you can take a look at this line right here, and as I move my iPhone, you'll be able to tell that when I do this, the line gets a little bit backwards, and when I do that, the line goes a little bit over here, the widget. So as you can see, the line is moving, and it's giving us the effect that the icons, widgets are moving with your hand using the accelerometer and the gyroscope, and the background is fixed. So it gives this 3D effect. It's amazing that it's back. Now in iOS 18, you can actually record a video with audio playback in the background. So let me show you. I'm gonna play here this audio. As you can see, let it load. So audio is playing, and then if I open up my camera, and then if I go to video, the audio won't stop, as you can see. And then I can record the video, and then the video will be recorded with audio, and then the microphone will pick up what I'm saying, and also the audio that's being played back right here. So awesome. So you can record your stories on Instagram or anything you want to do with music in the background. This is so cool. If we go to photos, we now have a new video player for photos. So finally, we can actually have this scrubber right here. We can easily choose where the video goes and stops and pauses and plays. We can easily pause right here, as you can see, and even we can mute and unmute. And this is so much more convenient, so much easier than before, where you used to have that scrubber right here in the back, which was a miniature of the video, which was terrible. Now we have a proper video player right here in the Photos app. And speaking about the new Photos app, I know it looks a little bit cluttered. In my opinion, it also does, a little bit disorganized. I don't really like it that much, but we have some new sorting options. So if you go ahead on the first page and pull down, Here you have your full library with all your items, as you can see, and you can choose between all months and years. But if you tap here on the sorting option, as you can see, you can easily choose some view options. So how you want to see them, zoom in, zoom out, the aspect ratio, and so on, which I think is kind of nice. But also you can filter it very easily. So you can choose all items, or maybe just photos, or maybe just screenshots, as you can see, or all your favorites, and so on. And it gets better than that, because if we go ahead and close this view and actually scroll down, as you can see, and keep scrolling until you get here to utilities, as you can see, if you tap there, it's gonna categorize your photos in such a beautiful way. So not only hidden and recently deleted and duplicates, but also your receipts, which is so cool and convenient, handwriting, illustration, your documents, your imports. So photos is much smarter. So yes, I do agree that it looks a little bit cluttered, but if you know how to use it and how to search and filter and sort and all that, it's gonna make your life so much easier. It's worth spending some time here. If you go ahead and open up your FaceTime, but this is just an example, all right? And you pull down on the control center, you'll see here controls. So you'll see what the app is actually using and how you can interact with it. So if you tap on FaceTime, it's using my microphone and it's also using my camera. And this will work for any single app. So then you can easily see if any app is using your camera and also what's actually seen, as you can see right here with this live feed. And of course you can control it as well. You can choose if you want portrait, studio light, reactions, and so on. And same thing with audio and video, you can manage that as well if you want the audio automatic, standard, voice isolation, and so on. So it's super cool because on this new privacy option you can actually see and manage what the app is using of your microphone and of your camera as well. If you open up your notes, it all looks the same, right? But if you go ahead here and tap on AA on the fonts, you can actually highlight and choose the color of the font you want. This is so nice. So let's go for purple and this highlight right here. So if I go for this, is, as you can see right here, is highlighted, and we've got new colors for the font. Of course, if you don't want the highlight, you can remove the highlight and have just the color. Now let's open up the new calculator, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of stuff about this, but maybe you haven't seen the option to convert, and maybe you don't know that it's not just for currency, like as you can see, like American dollar and euro, but if you tap here on any of the options, you can choose not only your currency, but any unit. So angle, area, data, energy, and the list goes on, volume, time, temperature. So you can use it for absolutely anything. So like Celsius and Fahrenheit. So you can do anything here on the calculator app. On top of that, you have probably seen the math notes, right? So you can easily go ahead here and go for, let me see if I can have a keyboard. There we go. So 2 plus 2, right? And then it's gonna go equal 4. You have seen it, but maybe you don't know that this is actually throughout the whole operating system. So if I open up here my messages, and if I go for 2 plus 2, and I have to go ahead and go for equals, it'll say 4. So the same artificial intelligence that's on the calculator app, it's also right here on any app. If we open up Safari, we have this new icon which replaces the AA, right? If you tap there, everything is new. So as you can see, we've got the new reader, which is so nice. If you tap on it once again, you can choose, of course, how the reader looks, the fonts, and everything like that. But you also have the option to listen to page. So if you tap here on listen to page, it's gonna already go ahead and...
iPhone. For other uses, see iPhone, disambiguation. The iPhone is a line of smartphones.
And of course, you can choose the speed and all that, the font, and everything as you can imagine. But every setting in Safari is different. So if you tap here on the 3 dots, you see here the option to, for example, go ahead and request a desktop website. tap on done, and then it's gonna go and load the desktop one. So those are not new features necessarily, but the way it looks is much better. The settings in Safari are much better. Before there were those little pop-ups right here that look really bad. Now Safari is really good in iOS 18. It has better interface as well. So if you tap on your tabs, and if you have multiple tab groups, as you can see, so we have the standard one, the private, right? And then work. As you can see, you can cycle through them just by sliding. You couldn't do that before in iOS 17, and the interface is better, is much more integrated, so better overall experience. Now let's open up our settings and look for vocal. There we go, vocal shortcuts. This feature is so cool. What we're gonna do is set up vocal shortcuts so when we say a command, the iPhone will actually do it. So let's continue. And I want it for the iPhone to open the camera when I say camera. So tap on camera, and then the phrase will be camera, the command, right? Go. Camera. 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 Action is ready. Let's continue. It's set up. So let's go ahead and test it out and see if it's working. Camera. And so as you can see, we've got here camera. As I said, it opened up and it's quite nice. It's an accessibility feature, but also a very nice feature to play with. Now let's talk about widgets, because they're also much better to use. If you actually go ahead and enter edit mode, as you can see, you can easily adjust any widget on the fly. So as you can see right here, you don't have to go through menus or anything like that. It's super easy to adjust, as you can see, but also you can make any available app a widget on the go as well. For example, fitness. If you tap and hold, you see here that you have possibilities for widgets. So you can tap here and then it'll automatically create a widget for it. If you tap and hold once again, you can adjust the size just like that, or tap and hold, you go ahead and make it an app once again. If you open up your phone app and you're trying to remember a phone number, you just know partially. What you can easily do is go ahead and dial what you actually remember, and then as you can see, it will suggest right here, and if it has more options as well. Super easy to check. If we go to our settings and search for power, as you can see right here, we have power on and off sounds. As you can see right there, just like on your Mac, we now have this chime that you can enable every time you turn on and off your iPhone. Of course, it'll only play when you are in loud mode, but let me show you. If I pull down on my control center, I don't know if you know this, but we have here a power off button. So I can just go ahead and slide to power off, take a listen to the sound. There we go, quite nice. And when you turn it on as well, so let's press on the side button. And then we've got that chime as well, and the iPhone vibrates too. So cool. You know when your battery is completely dead and you just see the battery icon and iPhone findable, as you can see right here? Well, in iOS 18, on some specific models, you actually have this new page where you actually see the time right here at the top, and also express cards and keys available. So even when the iPhone is off, as you can see the time, and you've got some kind of connection like express keys and cards and so on. But the thing is, that's only available on the iPhone 15 series, at least the time thing. If we go to our settings and then general, and then scroll down just a bit until we get to keyboard, if you tap on keyboards once again, take a look at this. This is so cool. So you can add a new keyboard. In my case, I'm gonna add Portuguese because I'm Brazilian, as you know. So then, as you can see here, we have bilingual keyboard support. So if I tap here and tap on done, as you can see, I have two keyboards in one. So I have, of course, my emoji and my bilingual keyboard. So then, when I'm here on my notes, for example, it'll say English and Portuguese. So then it'll suggest, correct, and I'll be able to punctuate and so on both languages at the same time without having to switch between them all the time, which is kind of a pain. This is cool. Now, if you game a lot, you're gonna love this. So let me open a game like Free Fire, as you can see right here. And as the game boots up and begins, you'll see that game mode will be enabled by default. If I pull down my control center, you'll see right here, game mode. It's turned on. And what this will do is it'll actually restrict and even pause background activity to optimize performance on this game. So what this will do is pretty much stop everything running in the background to make your game not only perform faster and better, but also to save your battery and avoid overheating when you're playing. This is so cool, and this is enabled by default. If we open up the Notes app and tap on the little attachment icon, we have here the possibility to record an audio straight from the Notes app. So then we can tap on record, and right here we have this little icon, which is a transcription button. So then when you enable it and you start recording, what it'll do is record, of course, the audio, but also live transcribe. Let me show you. This is a test of the new feature in iOS 18 that allows us to record and transcribe audios right here in the Notes app. So as you can see, it'll record the audio, of course, the 10 seconds, but also live transcribe. So when you tap on done, you have it right here, the audio and the transcript. So nice. I don't know if you noticed, but in iOS 18, they just ditched the name Apple ID. Now it's called Apple Account. I don't know if this is something from beta 1 or this is how Apple is gonna name it, but as you can see, Apple changed quite a lot here on your settings, especially the iCloud section, and the subscriber edition looks a little bit weird, but that's the thing, and that's at least for now in iOS 18, Apple Account, no more Apple ID. And so that's it. Those are literally all iOS 18 secrets. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one as usual. Bye bye, guys.